keep it a buck. I'll keep it a buck. The Jordan thing was cool. Y'all know me, bro.
Jordan is one thing.
I got the OVO. I got the OVO
Breezy's
tattoo.
another.
I got the
Yes,
OVO
bro.
tattoo.
If you
Honestly,
grew up with how we grew up, Drizzy's another thing, bro.
I mean, bro, it was the first time I ever like felt actual starstruck.
Hits and hoop season.
We hit and we hoop and we stick and we shoot and welcome back to another episode of Hits and Hoops. Got a special guest on today. For now, my name is Dixon, running point here. Big and pick and roll partner Tyler. What's good?
What's good, Chicho? How we doing today?
Chilling, fam. I'm chilling. Before we get started, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Get into the comments, start talking back and forth. We might reply, we might not. We'll see what happens. But today we got former Supreme wearing, Jordan sneaker collecting, now baseball coach for a 12U travel team out of South Cali, OC Crush, son of two-time Baseball World Series winner and our old friend Austin Leyritz. What's good, my boy?
What's going on,
Good,
boys?
Larry.
What's going on, boys? I like the intro. I appreciate y'all, man.
Dixon, that was a top tier intro. Hey,
That
Come on,
was,
fam.
you need to write for the Emmys or some shit.
Bro,
hey,
I
you did his
study I
research.
That
study
was
Shannon
great.
Sharp in them.
That was really good.
You brought up the travel team, bro. That's crazy.
Got to do the research, fam.
I
But
love it,
nah,
man.
today we're gonna get into like pretty much the life story of Austin Leyritz. Like I told Tyler, like I said previously in Hits and Hoops, I want to like give light on people that have invested their lives and have the same passion for sports as a pro athlete, but just in a different way, in a different field, whether that's like podcasting like us or being a coach, getting back into the community like Austin. So I'm gonna start at the beginning. For those that don't know, we grew up with Austin, but like these are a lot of questions I would have been asked him, but I already knew him, so it's kind of weird. Like you already know someone, you're gonna ask them like, "Yo, where were you born?" No, men don't do that. Come on. Anyways,
Yeah, we're not doing that.
He's a
Yo, how
man.
you
Austin.
feeling?
Now I'm getting back. I'm to the basics. Like, where were you born, and when did you move to Florida?
Well, I was born in Miami. I was born in Miami. I forget what hospital, Jackson Memorial Hospital, to be exact. I know that. And then, yeah, man. So I was born in Miami. Grew up, obviously, Fort Lauderdale, Southwest Ranches is where I originally grew up. My mom and dad. So the reason I was, born in Miami, we lived in Miami. My dad played for the Yankees at the time, and I was Yankee spring training was in Clearwater, Florida. And my mom and dad
Mm,
had met in Clearwater, but my mom lived in Miami at the time. That's where she lived. And my mom and dad met and had me, and that was kind of the whole thing that solidified. They were going to stay in Florida now. So born, Miami, Florida, and then we moved to Broward when I was, I want to say, 2 years old. Moved down to Southwest Ranches, and yeah, I grew up in Southwest Ranches for a while. And then I'd say right around fifth grade is when I moved to Weston, Florida. I moved to Weston, and we bounced around everywhere, man. I went from Weston to Davie, Davie to Weston, back and forth. And then we solidified our position in Weston my sixth grade year at the beginning of the year. And then I'm pretty sure that's where we met was Indian Ridge Middle School, is it not?
Indian Ridge, yeah. Wait, where did you go to elementary school?
Dude, I went everywhere. I would bounce
Different
around.
ones? Oh, okay,
I
okay.
went to a Christian school, Flamingo Road Christian School, when I was like in third, fourth grade, and then I want to say my fifth grade year I went to Manatee Bay Elementary,
I don't
which
even
was
know them
like,
schools.
I've heard
yeah,
of it.
it's in Weston somewhere. But
Okay.
bro, I was bouncing around, dude. I'm surprised I even remembered where I went because I was at like four different middle schools, and we were moving all over the place. I don't remember really where, except for those 2 schools. I could have gone to 3 more for all I know. But yeah, I finished
most
my
important
last
one
year.
was Indian Ridge and Western.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So your dad being, who he is, Jim Leyritz, for those that don't know, former MLB player, Yankees player. What was it like growing up with him? Was like he on the road a lot? How was it like at home?
Yeah, I mean, I think the crazy part is my dad was on the road all the time, obviously, playing for the New York Yankees. He never played
That
for
baseball schedule different.
Yeah, man. We're talking about 162 games a year. You're talking about only 82 of those games or 81 of those games being at home. And then you're talking spring training. You're talking off-season work. There really is no off-season in baseball. I got to experience it as a kid watching my dad, and then I got to experience it playing it, right? And so I had kind of got to see both sides. I'd say it's so glamorous on the outside, and it looks so amazing. Everybody thinks it's so great, and don't get me wrong, it is. Getting to play professional sports for a healthy paycheck is a blessing. But I'd say the most overlooked part of it is definitely the toll it takes on the individual, and especially their family, man. My dad was on the road 24/7. I was fortunate enough to have a mom who cared enough that she wanted us to be a part of that lifestyle with him. So we were on the road with him a lot, man. We traveled.
He would take you on the road sometimes.
Yeah. So she was that mom and that wife who was like, you know what? If my husband gets to experience this lifestyle, I'm going to experience it with him. Like I want to go to the stadiums. I want to be a part of,
good for her,
the celebrations. And dude, I'm so thankful for it, cause actually the other day I was going through pictures, and I found pictures of me like 2 years old in the 1996 96 Yankees World Series parade on a float with the mayor of New York and my dad, and I'm rocking a fresh New York Yankees snapback with a pair of like 96 playoff 12s, like OG pictures.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude. And so the lifestyle as a kid growing up with a dad as a professional athlete, it's very hectic. I was lucky enough to have my dad around. My dad did a great job with the balance of making sure, he was still dad. But again, it's still hectic, man. It still takes a toll on the family, and it wears over the years, dude. It really does. It starts to take a toll on you. I was born middle of my dad's career, almost pretty much the prime of my dad's career, 96,
yeah, for sure.
95, 96.
Maybe 97. That's why it was the prime of his career.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, there you go.
Gave him that boost.
Yeah.
Clip that right there. Let him know. Yeah. Cause he doesn't know that, but yeah.
Maybe. You never know.
And so I'd say, that lifestyle, man. And that as a kid, it's beautiful. It's fun. It's a cool story to tell, but, I can guarantee you, man, if you ask a lot of athletes, man, what it's like, they're going to give you the same answer, man. It's tough. It's tough on the family. I will say that.
No, I've heard that a lot, and that's one of the biggest compliments I give to Tom Brady. Like, I know what he did on the field, but that dedication to, like, sacrifice your fam, lose your girl to, like, Pilates trainer, like, he gave it all to the game, for real. Nah, Tyler. No, but for real, no bullshit. Nah, Brady's dedication was different, bro. Like, man, sacrificed it all.
He said, "I'm married to the game."
Yeah, not my wife.
Hey, Giselle, I'm married to the game.
Not my wife. I'm trying to throw to Gronk, not my son. Like, it's different, bro.
Well, and there's levels, bro. There's levels to that, dude. And I mean, obviously, Tom Brady, you hear about it because it's Tom Brady, but I mean, even Joe Schmo, bro, who plays for the Tampa Bay Rays, bro, and he's a backup infielder. I mean, dude, that's the lifestyle for a lot of these guys, dude. The game sucks you in, dude, and really what it does is it really causes you to. I mean, I think nowadays guys have their heads on their shoulders a little bit better. I think just because you've got therapists and managers and
mental
money
health.
managers.
There's more of a playbook to it. You know what I mean?
Yes, and it's also social media, man. It's any slip up or any mishap that you make up nowadays. I mean, I don't want to quote Jeter, because I don't want him to think that I'm taking words out of his mouth, but I remember him and a couple other guys talking about somewhere along the lines of, if we had social media in our days, we'd have been canceled right away. And so that's kind of I think that helps guys nowadays keep a little bit better balance and kind of live that
For
little
sure.
healthy,
You're in the
healthy
public
lifestyle.
spotlight, move a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that being said, like, what was some of the coolest moments, like, in terms of like being at a certain thing, like you said, the parade, or did you ever get to meet a celebrity or an athlete that you were like, whoa, this is crazy?
Yeah, I mean, for me, man, my whole like lifestyle growing up while my dad was in baseball. So I was born in '94. My dad was with the Yankees at the time. The Yankees hadn't won a World Series in like 20 plus years. And so my dad was, they were, '94 was the year of the Major League Baseball strike too. I don't know if you guys knew that, but there was a strike with baseball. So there was no 1994 season. And so
they didn't play the whole year.
They might've played half a season or maybe a quarter of a season, but there was no full season. If you look at like, I don't think there was a season, because if you look at the back of some guy's baseball cards for '94, it's just blank.
Skips it.
Yeah. And so I was born into that strike. And so '95 was a year where my dad hit a huge home run in the American League Championship Series against the Mariners, which kind of put him on the map. 15th inning.
Clutch
Yankee
performer.
Stadium. Yep. Clutch performer. So they had a great year that year. And then '96 was the year the whole dynasty started, dude. So '96 was the year my dad hit a pinch hit 3-run home run in the '96 World Series when the Yankees were down 2-0. 2-1, sorry. And basically they tied the game. They went on to win that game, and they went on to go win. They swept the rest of the series. They beat the Braves, won the World Series. That was the start of the Yankees dynasty. They go on to win 4 more World Series in the next 5 years. So I
they
was
had
born
Jeter by then or no?
So '96 was Jeter's rookie year. It was Mariano Rivera's rookie year. Jorge Posada's rookie year.
So they all won as rookies.
As rookies, yes.
Oh,
yes.
no, that's different.
And,
that's different.
Crazy.
And here you
that's
have
Magic
my dad,
Johnson type shit.
That's crazy.
Yep. And here you have my dad as the vet, right? He's 5-6 years in the big leagues, pinch hitter, hitting this big bomb. So to this day, he kind of still brags like, "Hey, if I don't hit that home run, there is no Jeter, there is no Rivera, there is no Posada. Like, who knows, right?" And so, kind of a cool little bragging right he's got. But that's what I was born into, bro. I was born into the Yankees dynasty, right? Like, you're talking. You ever go watch the Jeter documentary, dude? The way those Yankees guys rolled around in the '90s, dude. I mean, you're talking like Jordan with the Bulls type of vibes. Like, they were that good, dude. People were scared of the Yankees, and so I was born into that. And so when we talk about like soul memory, like one memory that I have, I probably couldn't give you a soul folk like one memory, but the World Series parades were something that I do remember. '99, my dad was a part of the '99 World Series team. I remember being on the field before the game, taking batting practice with Derek Jeter. I have a picture of me playing catch with Mariano Rivera, out in right field when I'm 5 years old. And then fast forward to, I want to say we were good friends at the time, you and I want to say 13, 14 years old. My dad goes to a celebrity golf tournament for Derek Jeter in Tampa, and I'm at home, and I'm living off of Nob Hill over in Davie, and it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I'm at home. I'm watching Prison Break with my mom, and my dad calls me, and he's like, "Hey, I got someone on the phone for you." And I'm thinking, oh, it's Jeter because he's at the tournament, right? And it's this deep, deep voice, and I'm like, who could this be? Like, I'm like, they're like, hello, what's going on, brother? How we doing, man? I had no idea who it is. And he goes, "Hey, it's Michael Jordan." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, good one, right? Like, whatever." At the time, I don't know.
Hey, there's no FaceTime back then. You feel me,
bro?
So
this shit we didn't know. I told you we were close friends. Would have never known this.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, so there was, like you said, there was no FaceTime. So I'm sitting here like, I knew he was gonna be at the event, right? My dad told me. So I said to my dad, BS, and I'm like, "Hey, you better call me when you're with Michael Jordan." And and Michael Jordan don't know who my dad is. Let's be real. Michael Jordan don't know who Jim Leyritz is.
No, hey, if he
might have. He was tapped into baseball.
Nah, I mean,
he might have been.
Apparently, he was.
Yeah, but I can tell you this right now. He wasn't sitting with my dad. I know he was sitting with Jeter because my dad had to get up and go walk over to the table. So
I mean, hey, you're really raising the bar right now, fam.
all right. Well,
Just to be in that room is something. You feel me?
It was. And so I kind of like don't believe him at all. And he kind of like said something like along the lines of like, so are you gonna talk to me, or are you just gonna keep telling me it's not me or whatever? And
that's some real Jordan shit.
That should have told you.
That matches.
So I was like, oh man, well, it's nice to meet you, Michael Jordan.
That's crazy, bro.
And so I end up, I talked to him, I don't know, 20 more seconds, just told him I was a fan. It was really nice to talk to him or whatever. And then my dad picks up the phone. He's like, told you, fucker. And I'm like, oh, all right. Like, I was starstruck, bro. I mean, I'm like, did the whole hang up the phone, run around the house, like.
Oh my God.
Hey, that's when your sneaker career started popping off, right?
I mean,
I know Michael Jordan. That's
it.
Hey,
that single line got you into the game.
It did. That single phone call with Michael Jordan, bro, got me in the game. And so man, that to me was like kind of when I knew, like, all right, my dad's the man, man. Like he's and so
I mean,
that was probably that, but dude, I tell you what, not to brag, but I mean, I've had some moments where like, I'm like, damn, dude, my dad, like, he did something big in baseball, and because of that, like it's cool, man. My dad was a bench guy for 11 years, never was a starter, and so to be that guy in New York and have that pull and those type of connections, and to gain that respect from other athletes like that, man. And I've seen it now more than ever because we're best friends now, my dad and I. We travel a lot, we go to big events, and to see the respect that he gets, that to me is like the ultimate memory. Like, all right, I was a year and a half years old when the home run happened, right? I don't remember that, dude. I was a baby at the time. It was the Braves Stadium, Turner Field, or whatever it was called. I don't remember all that. I was at the game, but I don't remember much. And so everything comes back full circle nowadays more than anything. When we're in New York, we're walking the streets, and somebody grabs them and says, "Jim Leyritz, give me a picture." It's like, all right, like, damn, I did.
To this day.
Yeah, to this day, bro. And so that's it. But yeah, I've had a couple of ones, man. I got to meet Drake in 2013, 2014. I got to hang out with Drake for a couple minutes over at a SP's party in LA. That was pretty rad. That was pretty cool. You didn't know that?
Whose party? Whose party was it?
It was the SP's in 2014, the year Drake hosted.
All right, Drizzy.
Did you not know that?
How was his aura though?
It was different, bro.
He smelled good and shit.
I knew that was coming. The way you're running.
I did too. I was waiting.
No, because you said MJ. That's one thing.
Fingernails look like were they clean? Were they dirty?
We
know they clean, fam. Come on.
I'll keep it a buck. The Jordan thing was cool. Y'all know me, bro.
Jordan is one thing.
I got the OBO.
He's another.
Yes, bro. If you grew up with how we grew up, Drizzy's another thing, bro.
I mean, bro, it was the first time I ever felt actual starstruck. We went to the SB show that year. It was in LA, my dad and I, and I knew Drake was hosting. That's the only reason I went. And I
remember that. That might have been the last SBs I watched.
Yeah, it was. He did a great job too with the skits. He brought out Skylar Diggins, did a really cool piece.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so anyways, I'm in LA. I saw him 3 times before the actual time I met him, and I couldn't get to him obviously because he had 50 security guards or whatever. And we go to the SB show. You can't have your phone, so whatever. Didn't take any video, nothing like that. And then my buddy's dad, or my dad's buddy, hits up my dad and goes, "Hey, I'm got after party tickets and wristbands to the VIP tent outside of the show. It's like a big bubble, like a Dolphins training facility bubble, right?" And Drake's gonna be there. He tells my dad, and I'm sitting there okay, we're going, Dad, we're going. And so we go to the show. We have the wristbands. I'm 19, and I can't drink, but I found my way into the tent, and I found my way to hang out and partake in the fun that everybody else was having. My dad and I were smoking a cigar, and all of a sudden his buddy texted him "Hey, Drake's at the VIP with the UConn women's basketball team. They're all taking pictures. Tell your son, go try and get them. And I'm like, dude, what did we, whatever. Like, how is this possible? So I walk up, find that little area. You know, he's over there because there's 500 people trying to get to him. And my dad, being my dad, you guys don't know my dad too well, but my dad is like, I'm Jim Leyritz. I'll get in there somehow, right? And shows the wristbands, and the security guard's like, nah, hold on. And I'm not joking. Somehow we get close enough to where Drake and my dad make eye contact, and Drake literally goes like this and looks at my dad like, come on. And the security looks back and we're like, all right. And we go.
Your dad's tapped in, bro. You didn't know your dad was OVO, bro?
I didn't know, bro. That day I found out. But we get up there, we walk in, and here I am, 18 years old. I was fresh out of high school, bro. I was bugging like a little fangirl, and I walk up to him, dab him up, whatever. We talk for, I'll keep it real. I gave him, a hug, whatever. I said, hey, listen, bro. I just want to let you know, man, like, everything you did in music when I was growing up as a kid, bro, like you got me through some shit, not only, but like I really grew up on your shit, bro. Like, it was a part of my life. Same way Kid Cudi and, OG Wiz and Currency and all them, they played a big role in our lives when we were kids. Same thing for Drake. So I told him all that, and word for word, he like, we separated. He goes, hey, man, I've been here all week. And on some non-fanboy shit, that was some of the realest shit, I heard all week. So I appreciate the love.
Oh, shit.
Dapped them up, and then I got to take a picture, which was super dope. He was saying he wasn't taking pictures of anybody that night. So I got to take a sick pic. I was wearing a tux. He's wearing a tux. Super.
I have to frame that one.
Oh, bro.
He already did. It's on the back. It's like a life size at his crib right now. Yeah. That's like one thing his wife let him do. Like, that's the one thing.
Yeah.
That shit about 40 by 40.
Yeah.
So that was probably my coolest, like,
that is cool. That is
of
cool.
having a dad who had some pull because of what he did growing up playing ball. And so that was the one for me, bro.
I remember seeing the picture, but that's awesome. Like, getting the backstory.
The story, it's great.
No, that was incredible. Sick. MJ is like whatever compared to that, bro.
Oh, dude.
The experience is, yeah.
When did you start playing the game of baseball? Like, did you always love it, or was it like a certain time where you got into it?
I mean, obviously I grew up around it, right? And so I think from being a kid, man, I got pictures of me, like I said, 2 years old on a field hitting a ball, at Yankee Stadium. And, I obviously it's in the blood, right? So I grew up playing ball, obviously, when I was a kid, all the way through middle school. And then right around middle school was when I stopped playing a little bit, dude. I found a love for basketball, right? Basketball became, more of my.
That was the long hair Leyritz. Hold on.
That was long hair Leyritz, bro.
Hold on.
He was on our red team, remember? Me, you, and Martin?
And so I fell in love with basketball middle school. It kind of took my love away from baseball for a little while. Mom and dad had gotten to, a divorce. And so I kind of had all my priorities mixed up as far as, knowing, hey, you can play baseball, dude. You should probably take this serious and play because I had skill and talent, right? But basketball took over. And so 6th, 7th, 8th grade, was all basketball years, no baseball. I mean, I still played. I think I played Little League or something for a little while. And then my freshman year, you guys probably don't even know this, but I tried out for Western's team, and I made the team, bro. And so when I made the team, I had long hair, and I don't know if anyone knows this, but my dad knows this, but they told me I had to cut my hair if I wanted to play. And I told them no. And so I didn't play my freshman year at Western. Yeah, I didn't play my freshman year at Western.
Baseball got like weird rules like that though, right?
Yeah, and Western at the time, I don't remember who the coach was, but the coach was a guy who he had rules like that, right? The Yankees used to have a rule where you couldn't have facial hair. Yep, no facial hair. And it's changing now, obviously, because the game's changing. But so freshman year didn't play baseball either, and then sophomore year, which was really when we were all real close, I didn't play baseball, or I played basketball, but, you know, it was like you said, skipping class, going to the gym, you know, doing whatever I can to get out of Spanish class, you know.
Yeah.
And I played basketball instead. And so I didn't really get serious about baseball until I moved out here. Basically, the way the story worked was my dad had told me, hey, I've been through enough shit out here in South Florida. It's toxic here. I met a woman that I've been dating long distance for a year now, 2 years or something like that. She lives in Southern California. I'm going to start my life over there, and you're more than welcome to join me. I think you should, because it's going to be good for you. You're going to get away from this Florida stuff, and it's time you take baseball serious. And that's when I moved to California, and that's when, you know, I took baseball real serious. I moved out here with about 8 weeks up until school started. And for those 8 weeks, I grinded,
Before
man.
junior year, right?
Right before junior year, yes, sir. And so I grinded for 8 weeks, and I did enough to make the team out here my junior year, which was crazy because SoCal baseball, you know, we'll get into it at some point, but dude, SoCal baseball it's as legit and as competitive as you will find. I mean, it's year round, and it's I mean, a lot of resources out here, a lot of good training facilities, a lot of good athletes. And so, yeah, I played junior, senior year here, man. And it's kind of what took me along the lines of pursuing it after that.
Was there like added pressure? Like, did they know that was your dad? Did you ever feel
Always.
like envy or anything? Okay.
Always. I mean, I guess you could say definitely envy, right? But I didn't have shit handed to me, bro. I was a transfer from Florida, not playing baseball for 4 years. They didn't give a shit who my dad was, bro. It's Southern California. There's so many athletes who live out here.
True.
And like Mark McGuire lives down the street. His kids went to high school right down the street from where I was at. The head coach of the Marlins last year, his son plays at the same high school I went to. You know, it's not like I was the only kid, whereas in Florida I was a little more popular, or whatever you want to call it, just because there weren't as many celebrities out there whose kids went to public middle school, who hung out in freaking, you know, Davie, Florida, right? And so, long story short, yes, there was envy. There was definitely a lot of, I guess, the stigma of like, oh, of course he made the team. His dad played for the Yankees.
Yeah,
right.
That's good.
But I felt more of that when I got to play pro ball, really, than anything. Like, that's when I really felt like, because at that point you're fighting for a job. You know, you're taking food off of people's table. Guys are getting released, getting cut left and right. Here I am still on a team, and if I wasn't performing, but somebody else got cut and they were doing a little bit better, there was you know, of course he's not going to get cut. His dad played in the big leagues. He's a Leyritz. He's got shit. He's a bonus baby, whatever, right? And so there wasn't. Honestly, my dad did such a good job, and I'll give him his flowers now, at not putting any pressure on me. His exact words to me, from the age of, I can remember, 4, 5, 6 years old, all the way to, like, you know, old enough to be in, you know, pro ball, where I'm not going to push you until you want to be pushed. And so I got to, and you know what, man, I give him credit, because a lot of I've seen a lot of kids' dads do the opposite out here, you know, and and I'm sure you guys know, in youth sports especially, that's the biggest problem, right? You know, fathers want to live vicariously through their kids. I was lucky enough, my dad lived it. He did it all. So, long story short, I didn't feel that pressure, bro. I really didn't. I felt free, and I think that's what allowed me to kind of pull myself out of the mud when I was, you know, goofing around instead of, you know, taking ball serious. Was I finally got to the point where I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm ready to be pushed, and I called my dad, let's do it. And so he got me. You know, I didn't get to the big leagues, obviously, but I got to play pro ball for 4 years, and to me that was enough, man. That was enough to kind of, you know, forever say, hey, you know, I didn't get to where my dad got to, but I got to where I wanted to get to. You know what I mean? And so definitely no added pressure, but a lot of envy for sure.
Jumping on what you said, man, some kids, because I coach kids from 6 to 8, some kids just not ready to be pushed at that age.
Yep.
You have to be in a certain mindset to want to be pushed. So yeah, congrats to your dad. But going back to what you were saying, when you moved out to California, all the backstory that you gave, my guess is that you're happy you made that move for baseball. And how do you think it would be any different if you stayed in Florida?
Man, I think really for me, bro, and you guys know this, and it's not like a secret. I went through a lot of shit in Florida, man. My family went through a lot of shit. Divorce was not great. And it's public knowledge.
It was a tough couple of years for you, yeah.
It was a tough couple of years, and I didn't go down like a bad path or anything really, but it was more so. I knew I could be better, bro. I knew I could be better in the sense of like, I got to make a name for myself. I feel like I got a little more purpose in this world than to just like, sulk around and just whatever, just be a kid, right? Whatever, And so I think had I not made the move, man, I don't even want to know what I would have, not that I think I would have, gone down a bad path or anything. I know that
trapping or some shit.
Yeah. You're not wrong, bro. Like,
we grew up around a lot of bullshit.
We did, bro, and we were close enough, bro. We were trapping shoes, so I'm not sure how long that would have lasted. And so, I think that for me, the move, it just gave me a new start, bro. It gave me a new start, and it gave me a new start in an area where, even though I talk a lot of shit about Orange County and it being such a bougie, stuck up, keeping up with the Joneses type of place, it's make it or break it out here, dude. And so I didn't have that, time to kind of just kick it and, whatever, be a kid or, my dad didn't have any money left, when we moved to California. He wasn't rich. Everyone thinks when you play in the big leagues, you get rich and you stay rich. That's not how it works. And so, we all had to start over, the whole Leyritz family. And so, it lit a fire under me a little bit, I'd say. And it gave me a new start, a new life and a new perspective to like what it was to grind, for sports and, to gain respect from your people around you, and I think if I don't make that move, I'm definitely not where I'm at today as far as having the platform I have, but more so just, trusting, the timing of it all, right? I look back at it now at 30 years old, like, dude, it all worked out the way it was supposed to, it all did its thing. And I'm very grateful because, I've been here, like I said, 14 years now, bro. And it's damn near half my life, and so I feel very, very grateful that the move happened, man. I'm glad.
Even at the time, I felt like it was a good move for you.
Yeah, for sure. Especially going into junior year.
That's the crazy part too, right? Like I tell people all the time, like I moved my junior year of high school, and they're like, "Damn, that's the hardest time to do it." Like, because we had all already grown up together, right? All of us.
Yeah.
And so, leaving your best friends behind, and kind of, leaving behind what you've grown up on, which has been nothing but South Florida for 16 years. And then moving here, bro, like when I got here, dude, I didn't know a damn soul. It wasn't like I even had a connection, like I didn't have a friend of a friend. I got here, I went to bro, if y'all would have seen me my first day of junior year of high school out here, you're talking like kids were wearing, like
you probably had Chuck Taylors and camos on. And...
That's exactly what I rocked I had a pair of camo shorts
with an LRG
shirt, with some Chucks and a hundreds t-shirt with a pair of
Lord,
with a pair of Beats
snapback.
And bro, and then like the next day I had a cardigan with like a pair of OG threes. Like, bro, the looks I got from these kids out here were like, what the fuck is this?
What?
And I had a fresh cut, like I had a fresh tape.
What were they wearing? Like surfer shit?
Just bro, flip flops and fucking pajamas and like, what up, brother? How's it going, dude? Like, and I'm like,
yes, sir.
Bro, and I stuck
My boy
out
was
like
too fresh. They didn't know what to do with that.
They did it. Hey, but I'll tell you this: they fucked with it, bro. They fucked with it. It took them a couple weeks. I didn't get made fun of, but I got some looks. And then eventually they're all like, yo, all right. Like, I kind of threw the Cali swag in with the Florida swag, you could say.
Yeah. You got to level them up too.
Yeah.
You said pajamas with Jordan 4s. That's what you did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Instead of
so after high school, what was your plan for your career?
So after high school, I knew I wanted to keep playing ball. I had a pretty successful high school career. I didn't get like D1 offers or any of that, but I did well enough to like believe in myself again, and kind of like be like, oh shit, you can play ball, bro. Like you got to keep going, right? I was fast, bro. I was really quick. Like I could run. In baseball, you run a 60 instead of a 40, and I ran like a 6'4", 60, which is equivalent to like a 4'5", right? 4'4 and a half, whatever it is. Yeah, and so I got some good speed training out here, and then I knew I could play ball. I didn't have the best education. I didn't really do well in school. I think I graduated like a 2.8, and so that being said, I knew I wasn't going to no 4-year with like a scholarship for school or anything. So I went to a JUCO out here. It's called Irvine Valley Community College. JUCO college in California, especially Southern California, is comparable to D1 as far as competition goes.
Oh, wow.
So I knew I wouldn't have any issues as far as like getting recruited or playing with the good competition, right? I tore my meniscus like 6 weeks into like camp, right? Kind of restarted again, bro. I went down another path of like, just I got a job at a baseball facility. I said, fuck it. I'm done playing baseball again. I can't do this bullshit starting over thing again. And weird, small, quick story. The guy that I was working at a facility, and a guy came in to look for a job, big 6'5" Puerto Rican or Cuban guy, and he was looking for a job. He had just moved to California, and he walked into the facility, and he's like, yo, I'm looking for a job. I'm a pitching coach, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, that's what's up. Where are you from? And he's like, I'm from Miami. And I'm like, oh, no way, bro. Like, I grew up in Broward, like, whatever. And we hit it off right then and there, right? We actually had mutual friends, too, which was weird. But he was, like, 27, 28 at the time, and I was, like, 19, 20. And he's like, dude, what are you doing with baseball right now, bro? And I was like, I just quit JUCO. I just got back from rehab with my meniscus. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm in the trenches right now. I'm trying to get out of being a bum, and I just want to fucking, I don't know what to do. Because school wasn't my thing, right? And I was not going back to school. So he was like, I got a tryout for you in Delaware if you want to go play in this like pro league. You get paid to play and you get exposure to all 31 big league teams.
Oh yeah.
Went to the tryout, made a team. First year I was playing in upstate New York. Second year took me to Michigan. And after my second year, bro, I got a contract with the Orioles. And the Orioles signed me to a minor league deal. And dude, it happened quick. I was in spring training with the Orioles in Sarasota. Next thing you know,
man, that's awesome. So what was your life like at the time when you entered the minors, like trying to get into the league? Or
and what is that, like AA, AAA? I never knew how it works.
Like, explain to me what life was like as a minor leaguer.
So I played indie ball to start. So the league I was telling you about in New York, it's called independent baseball. And so what independent baseball is, for those who don't know, it's professional baseball. You're a paid professional baseball player. You're playing professional level baseball talent-wise. The only thing is you're not affiliated to any Major League Baseball team. So you're playing, in the middle of Delaware. You're playing in the middle of New Hampshire, South Dakota, whatever, right? You could go play in any of these leagues. There's dozens of them around the world. Life in the independent ball, dude, is fucking gnarly. It's $800 a month. It's, my first year was in New York. I had an apartment with 15 guys. So we had 15 guys sleeping in the same apartment. We had 2 dudes sleeping in a fucking closet. I mean, it was pretty wild that first year.
Did the team pay for the living and shit?
No, they took $200 out of your paycheck every month. So your 800 became 600 real quick. And you're talking no meals provided. So you're talking everybody's pitching in to like, go to Costco and buy food to last you for the month, right? But long story short, that was my first year. It was a grind. I graduated, so to say, I got promoted to a new league. Luckily enough, that league was the inaugural season of that league, and the founder of that league had a lot of money. So we had a brand new $20 million stadium, 2,000 fans a game. Each player was provided with an apartment, so it's 4 people to a 2-bedroom apartment. Taken care of real well, almost better than the minors, like affiliated ball. And so after that, I went to a tryout in the middle of nowhere in Illinois, and that's where I made the roster for the Orioles. And when I got to the Orioles, I was like, wow, like this is the real fucking deal. Like you're in affiliated baseball now. And what I mean by that was I show up to Sarasota, Florida, and spring training day 1, you walk in, there's an itinerary on the board, right? You read the board like you have basketball practice. You read the plan for the day, right? And the plan is like, instead of being, 6 to 8, it's 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Here's your schedule. And it's just grind, dude. It's 1 hour lifting. It's breakfast after that. It's individual defense after that. 10 a.m. you're doing tee work and you're doing drills in the cage. And then you go play from 12 to 4. You get back
Full-time
in.
job.
I tell people my first experience was I got my day finished with, and my roommate at the time, his name was Michael Choice. He was a AAA veteran, big league guy, got drafted in the first round. He was kind of an OG to me. Like, he showed me the ropes, like, and let me know what it was. Like, hey, you're here now, bro. Ain't no time to relax anymore. Like, you want to play ball? Like, you're with the real deal now. And so my first day of spring training, I get done and he gets done. I'm in single A at the time, right? I'm in low rookie ball, basically. He's at AAA. He's trying to get back to the big leagues. And so he goes, hey, bro, you want to go fishing? There's a dope fishing spot. You know, when we're done, we can go fishing. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, I thought like he was like for real. Like, yeah, let's go. And so we finished spring training at 4:00. Mind you, my feet are so sore, bro. So I'm walking out and I'm walking through the facility and I see the same dudes that were 18, 19, 20 I just played with. And they're putting their gym gear on and they're walking to the weight room. And I'm like, what are these dudes doing? Like, we already lifted and we just played 8 hours of baseball. Like, why are we doing this? Like, am I tripping? I'm like, maybe they just got, yeah.
Didn't we already do this?
Like, maybe they just have a different, like, plan. They have to be there, right? And I was like, yo, I asked one of the guys, I go, Javi, what are you doing, bro? He goes, oh, we're going to go lift. Let's go. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, all right. So I went and lifted, and I found out, like, every motherfucker was lifting weights after this 12-hour day, bro. And that's when I knew, like, all right, bro, like, this is not, I ain't going fishing, bro. I can't, I don't have time for that. They don't got time for fishing.
Crazy,
I can't have time.
bro.
So that was every day, man, for all.
So even
training.
after they get off, they still working.
They still, bro. There was dudes in the cages taking extra swings. There was guys having meetings with the coaches. Guys were in there getting their blood tests done to make sure that their levels are all right. I mean, grind, bro. And I said, so that was the difference between, because I want to, enlighten people on what independent ball is, because an independent ball gets overlooked a lot. Independent ball is just as talented as affiliated baseball, but independent ball, you're independent. So you have the option to grind or not. And that's what I think separates the two. To where when I got to spring training with Baltimore, dude, I was like, okay, I wasn't ready, bro. And it made me get ready quick. So
what's one thing that people don't know about the minors?
It's not glamorous. It's not glamorous. It's not, there's no glamour to it at all. I mean, none. Unless you are
just grind mode.
Unless you are a first round draft pick and you get a $1 million signing bonus, it's not glamour, bro. It is grind. It is, I mean, even when you're in rookie ball or you're in spring training and you get sent off after spring training and you go to your respective cities to go play single A, double A, triple A, high A, low A. You're going to, again, single A could be for the New York Yankees, but you might get stationed to go play in freaking the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma, and so, and you're living with a host family. You don't have an apartment. You're living with a family that has 4 kids, and a brand
host
new
family
baby.
is crazy.
Oh, bro, that's all it is. There's a lot of host families out there nowadays. There's a lot of host families.
Wow.
And so, basically, the story I tell people, or not story, but what I tell people, because I get a lot of people that ask me, oh, you played minor league baseball. How was it playing baseball in the minors, bro? Like, that's so sick. And you're like, yeah, it's cool because you get paid to play and you're chasing a dream. That's the dopest part about it. But when they ask you, like, oh, like, that must be so lavish. Nah, bro, there ain't nothing lavish. Until you sign a major league contract and that first wire hits your account where you're seeing, 5-6 figures, every other week, there's nothing glamorous about it, dude. It's grind, and that's not to take away from the big leagues. It's still a grind at the big league level, and it's a business too, which is even crazier. But it's not glamorous, man. It's not glamorous. It's the coolest thing about it. And I tell everyone, and I try not to be cliche about it. You're basically surrounded by a bunch of dudes chasing the same dream, and everybody wants the same thing.
It's a rat race.
And it's a rat race. And as cool as that is, at the same time, like I said earlier in the podcast, you're trying to take food off of somebody else's table. That's what you're trying to do. I'm 19, bro, playing indie ball, and I'm watching guys who are 31, 32 with a newborn at home.
Holy shit.
Get released. And here I am at 19, hitting my dad up for an extra $100 to go get Chick-fil-A. And these guys are getting sent home and have to go back to work at construction sites just to put food on the table for their kids. And so there's nothing glamorous about it, man. There really isn't. So except for the fact you get to hit a ball every day for a living,
Yeah. So tell
Yo,
me.
hold on, Tyler, my fault.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You were living in Baltimore?
No. I was no. So Baltimore, you only live in Baltimore if you play for the Baltimore
I
Orioles,
was
bro.
about to say, hold on. You were in the
All their
trenches?
no, all their affiliated teams are spread out elsewhere. I was in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
you.
which was nice. You know, it's sunny, it's hot, you're living on the bay. So I can't complain
Is
about where
that
I
when you
was.
came and played? Nah, you came and played way before in Scarborough.
Yeah, that was way before. That was well, actually,
Okay.
no, it wasn't way before. That wasn't way before. That was probably 2 years before, probably something like that.
Okay.
It was when I was down in South Florida for the off season training with Marty.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that was actually
2017,
so that was
2018.
actually the same year. So I came down to South Florida knowing I was going to be stationed in South Florida, and I trained my off season with Marty in South Florida. So that was actually that same year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So going from South Florida to Canada, how was that?
It was crazy, dude. Crazy. I mean,
Like, how was it like playing for the Beavers, like in the Canadian League?
I mean, the thing is, it's not very different because here's the thing:
Okay.
you're so surrounded by just baseball, dude. We were there half the season, and then after halfway through the season, we didn't get to spend much time doing much. Honestly, we knew we were going to be there for only a short period of time, so we ended up going from there to Michigan, and then I lived in Michigan for the remainder of the season, and the remainder of the season in Michigan, we kind of just, I mean, we got to experience what Michigan was like. I mean, living upstate though, bro, and Michigan and upstate New York and Canada and all that. I mean, dude, you don't. It's so different from the South Florida lifestyle and all that. Like, and you know it is, but like I said, you don't get to experience it because indie ball, dude, is such a grind between are you gonna live an indie ball like cool life where you're a baseball player who gets paid and you want to be cool and go out on the town and use that, or are you an indie ball just trying to get the fuck out of there, bro? And that's kind of how what my mindset was at 19. I knew I had youth on my side favoring me, so I knew like, all right, as much as I want to go experience Niagara Falls and go to Toronto and go to upstate Michigan and go see Detroit and all that, like I didn't care, bro. I wanted to get the fuck out of there, and I wanted to like make sure I was in there quick and out of there quick, and that's what coaches look for. They're like, who's comfortable here, and who's living the life here and experiencing all that, and who's getting out of here quick. And so, as far as experience goes, I mean, it was cool. I got to see some cool stuff, but nothing special, man. I was so focused
Yeah,
on.
you had a different mindset than enjoying Canada. Yeah.
Correct. And
That's
so, yeah,
crazy because then you can't even really enjoy it. It's just like the journey, the grind.
Yep, and that's all it is,
Until
man.
you make it, and then you could
you could
at the
experience
strip
more.
club and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. My paycheck wasn't cutting it for that. That would have strip club night would have been about a whole paycheck, brother.
Boy, would have went broke.
Nah, it was cool though. It was really rad to get to experience different states, different cities, and kind of step out of my comfort zone of living in South Florida and California my whole life. Again, there's nothing like being in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of, like I said, 16 guys, 15 guys, all chasing the same dream who you know absolutely nothing about. You become real.
That's
tight,
some real
real
brotherhood
quick.
shit, though.
Exactly. And so to this day, I got homies everywhere, bro. I always tell my girl, we can fly anywhere and have any layover anywhere, and I promise you we'll have coffee with somebody because I know somebody somewhere,
Yeah, let me know when you come to Washington.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But let me take care of this move first, all right?
What was the biggest challenge of your career, you think? Probably break your meniscus?
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, that was like my first year of JUCO college, and so I was young enough to where it didn't bother me as much because I wasn't thinking like make it or break it, right? Like I knew I had youth on my side, so I knew like, all right, this could hurt me now, but everybody was getting hurt, right? You heard a ton of stories about guys getting hurt and just recovering. I didn't fully tear it like 100%, so it wasn't any reconstructive surgery that had to happen. I think the biggest challenge, man, was when I was with Baltimore and I got released. I had just come off of what I thought was a pretty decent spring training. And I kind of felt very like satisfied with how I did. And it was the day we were all getting sent off to camp, right? You go report to Aberdeen, or you go, to Norfolk, Virginia. They're sending guys left and right to their respective cities to go play a full season. And I got called into the office, and I go, shit, like, this ain't good. They're calling me to the office an hour before they're sending guys off. This isn't good. And I called my dad right before, and he knew what was up, right? He's like, listen, dude, go in there, tell them thank you, respect, and, let them know you're looking for a job elsewhere to put your name out there for other teams, right, to vouch for you. And so I got released. Honestly, dude, I didn't take it as hard as I thought I would. I think maybe just because I kind of felt it coming that day. Baseball's such a business, dude. It's such a business. And that's one thing you see when you get to the minor leagues is how much of a business it is. And so I didn't have a great spring training, but I didn't think it was bad enough to get cut. But I knew, like, all right, the guys in front of me got like 2.2 million signing bonuses. And here I am, I signed for absolutely nothing compared to that. So when it comes down to, they both had a decent spring training and a good training camp, it's an easier job to cut me, right? And so I got released. I didn't cry or anything. I went and sat in my car, called my mom, called my dad, let them know what was up. But I then felt like this weird rush of relief like hit me. I'm sitting it's called the Buck O'Neill Sports Complex in Sarasota. I'm sitting in the parking lot in my VW at the time, surrounded by like all these like Range Rovers from these signing bonus guys and stuff. And I'm just looking around, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Like, you got there though. You put on a professional jersey every day. You got to grind with some of the best guys. All the talent that I play with in Baltimore is all in the big leagues now. So it wasn't I wasn't surrounded by a bunch of, has-been guys or guys that didn't make it. I mean, I like to call my competition was a center fielder named Cedric Mullins, who just got traded to the Mets and signed a big deal with the Mets. So it's not like I was, like I said, not playing against a bunch of bums, right? But yeah, that day was tough because I had two options. I could drive back to California, right? And I could go back home and I could get back to the grind and go play indie ball again and try to get a contract somewhere else. At the time I was still 23, so I was plenty young enough. Or I could go south to Miami, which was 3 hours away, and I could go turn up and go, party with my boys I haven't seen in years, and say, fuck the training, I'm not getting back to work. And that's what I did. I said, screw it. I'm going back home. I'm going to live a little bit. I just grinded my ass off the last 2 years. I went back south to Florida, partied a little bit, had some fun. I stayed with Mikey for a month.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I lived with him for a month. I got a nice check from the Orioles as a farewell gift, basically. And I blew it all in South Beach, in Fort Lauderdale, played, a little bit of golf, whatever. But, after that was the hardest part, Tyler, to answer your question. I was faced with a decision where, all right, you had fun. Now, do you drive back to Southern California and do you go grind for a little while and try to make an indie ball roster? Or do you kind of just say, this is it, you're done.
Move on.
You're 23. You're 23. Go start your life somewhere else as far as what alley you want to take, right? And so I drove to North Carolina where my grandparents live in the middle of nowhere. They've got a house on, 20 acres. Tyler, your brother's actually been out there before. Beautiful area. And it's just a good place to go, like, think, there's no cell phone signal. I kind of felt like I needed to do some reflecting and be alone. So I drove 11 hours upstate to North Carolina. And that was hard, man, because I was on an 11-hour car ride by myself. I took in all the emotions of what I just went through the last 4 years, from, tearing my meniscus to getting an indie ball contract to getting an affiliated ball contract, and all that pressure that you talked about earlier about, do I feel any pressure about my dad being Jim Leyritz? I kind of did at that time. I was like, fuck, I didn't make it. I didn't get there. I just got released. Like, what just happened? This wasn't how my book was supposed to be written, So I reflected a lot on that car ride. And then I stayed with my grandparents for 2 months. I got in the best shape of my life. I drove back home.
That's when you started being able to dunk and shit.
Yes, exactly. And so I went and I just trained. I was in the country for 2 months, bro. I had no vices, no cell phone for a little while. I mean, I had a cell phone, but it only worked on Wi-Fi. The local gym was all steel iron weights, and like I was in the country. I was lifting shrubs and bushes all day for my grandma, and I was eating real good. So I went from like $175 to $195 in like 2 months. Went back home, and I went and tried out for a couple teams, and I made a team, and then rolled my ankle and got hurt again, and that was it, bro. And that to me was the hardest part. I got hurt again, and it wasn't like a serious injury. It was just enough to know, like, all right, dude. Like,
it's a sign, yeah.
Yeah, you're 24, bro. And the thing is, man, there's a lot of guys will hold on to that dream for so long. They will play till they're 32, dude. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I love that. But I didn't want to be that guy, you know? And so at 24-ish, 25, that's when, like you said, what was the hardest part throughout my career? That was the hardest part, coming to terms with the fact, like, all right, bro, you're done. Like I started doing some lessons to make some side cash, and I realized, like, oh, shit, you're really good at this stuff, dude. Like, there's money to be made in this business. I didn't make no money playing in the minor leagues, so I was making way better money. And that's when I sat down one day. I woke up in the morning, and it hit me. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm done playing ball. I gotta make an announcement right now to, like, my friends and family, like, whatever. I'm telling everybody I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. And that was it, man. That was the hardest part, because making that transition from player to coach, it fucks with your mental, man. It fucks with your mental big time, because you still, especially at 24, for me, I still had so much competitive drive. I had to find a way to channel that competitive drive from playing to coaching, right? And it took a while. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like this was the first year where I felt like, okay, I found my groove. Like, I'm the best coach, because now I got it. I figured out the formula. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, man, that was the hardest part, was coming to terms, pushing through the grind, you know, going through the injuries, but coming to the terms with the fact that, you know what, it's done, you know?
Is there anything that you would have, up till you were 24, is there anything you would have done different if you were to redo it again? From right out of high school to, you know, the last tryout, is there anything you would have done different?
Yeah, I would have definitely, the biggest thing, I would have went from high school to college first. I think I would have, instead of, I wouldn't say I regret taking that indie ball tryout, because it got me, you know, where I was, right? I got to do what I got to do. But if I would have done it over, I would have rehabbed my knee, and I would have redshirted. They asked me to redshirt at the JUCO, and I said no. I would have redshirted, and I would have taken the experience, the knowledge, and gained the experience of just being around the team. I think with college, I would have had a little more discipline as far as, like, my regimen, like my schedule, nutrition, and all that. That was my hardest thing, was balancing living a lifestyle, which I was living, which was still having fun and girls and, you know, travel or whatever and all that. You know, at the time I was really big into, like, snowboarding. So I was able to, like, really go snowboard a lot. And, like, I couldn't balance living both lives. So I think going to college would have given me a little more discipline, and just surrounded me with some more people that were on the same path and same goal. So if I had to say one thing that I would have done different, it's definitely, I would have gone to college. Not for the education or anything, but like I said, just for the discipline side.
Yeah. Which makes sense, you know, at that age. I know for me especially, like, just having some sort of like you said, regimen. Yep. When you're in it, you're like, what the fuck do I need that for? But when you look back at it and you look at kids that are around that age, it's necessary. It's not long term, but it's necessary.
It's a vital part of growing up. Yep.
Yeah. So what got you into coaching? You were just ready for a new chapter.
Yeah, man.
What got you there?
I finally just put the baseball down, and I like, you know, they say hang up the cleats, right? I kind of just decided that was going to be the route I was going to take as far as hanging them up. And so with that being said, I needed to make money. So it started out as just my dad lived in a community. It's called Coto de Casa. It's out here in SoCal, and it is about as connected as you can get as far as knowing people with a little bit of money, right? It's a very, very nice neighborhood. And there's a Facebook page for that neighborhood, and it's basically, imagine you guys have probably heard like OC Housewives, moms.
You were on that?
Oh, yeah, they just have a bunch of money. I mean, I probably could have been, but they had a bunch of money, a lot of money, and they want their kids to all be the best. That's how it is out here, right? And so I knew, like, all right, I can teach. I'm good vocally, right? I've been around the game enough. I watched my dad teach lessons for a little while he was going through some shit. He had to make money, right? I posted a Facebook ad like, Austin Leyritz, Baltimore Orioles experience, local, graduated from the local high school. I was a pretty popular guy, so a lot of people in the neighborhood kind of already knew my name. And dude, shout out to this lady, Becky Stevens. She is the epitome of just a well-connected mother. She was like, hey, I saw your ad. She hits me up right away. I have 2 kids. They like baseball. I want to get them training. And I was like, all right, cool. Sounds good. I didn't even know what to charge at the time. I had to like go shop around and see what other guys charge. I was like, oh yeah, $30 an hour. Right. And so she's like, okay, like, sounds good. Like, we'll see tomorrow. So start a lesson with these two brothers. And I was like really good at it, bro. I didn't even have a plan, dude. I was just like, I thought in my head, it was like,
you kind of fell into it and
fell into
it. Just gelled in.
I was like, you know what? It felt like babysitting in a way, 'cause they were really young. Like, I was just like kind of having fun with these guys, but like still teaching them along the way. And so, I did that for one session, and she's like, hey, I'm very well connected in this area, and I have lots of friends.
Boy, I found the plug.
Lots of friends. And I was like, at the time I was like, oh, cool. Like, she's going to reference me to like 1 or 2 people. That'll be cool. Right. And next day, dude, I shit you not, I had like 20 texts from like
holy shit
every mom. So she was part of the moms club.
That's the plug. That's
the mom plug.
When you see like in movies, like the moms at the country club drinking wine while their husbands golf, like, not to say that's what these ladies were doing, but
no, the example, they're locked in.
They're locked in. They're plugged, and they talk. So it's like the next day, bro, I had 5 kids lined up, right? And it's like my schedule's awesome. all of a sudden my schedule's like 3 to 6 every Monday through Friday, and like, structured, lessons. And here I am, like making a couple G's a month, fresh out of playing ball, which I barely made any money. And I was like, holy shit, dude, like, I could do this and make money, like real money, right? Like, I mean, within 8 months, I went and got like a room at like my buddy's place, and I fell in love with it, bro. Because here's the thing, like, and Tyler, I know you said you coach now. It was so fulfilling to see, like, 1, kids look up to you in a way, right? And 2, once I became like aware that I was good at what I do, I saw results. And then I'll get into this more, but when you can have an impact on a kid, that's the biggest thing you can ever do for a parent, like a positive impact, right?
Yeah.
So once I started making a positive impact on these kids' lives, beyond baseball, just as a good influence, and make a kid feel like they have somebody they can talk to, et cetera, whatever it was. I realized, like, oh shit, I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do. Austin Leyritz Baseball Academy. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go to school. I'm not gonna go work in an office like a lot of my friends were. No knock on them, right? But that wasn't what I wanted to do, and so that's what got me into coaching, man. And within 2 years, I wouldn't even say that. Within a year, I got a job at a baseball facility because I was able to say I did lessons with kids, and then that took off, and then it turned into Austin Leyritz Baseball Academy, and I've taught lessons for 6 years now, and I've worked with over 1,100 kids in the last 6 years, all around Orange County, LA. I've done clinics in different states. I even went out to Bali, Indonesia, and did some baseball stuff out there for a little while. And so I that's what took me into coaching, man. That's really what got me started. Becky Stevens, shout out to Becky Stevens.
Shout out Becky. So what got you? When did you start to coach team ball?
So I started coaching team ball. What was it? It had to be 20. It was right when I started dating my fiance, which was, so I guess 8 years ago. What was that? 2017. We'll call it, right? So my fiance at the time, we were just talking. We were friends. We were dating, I guess you could say. And she had a younger brother who's now in college playing ball. But I had seen her Snapchats and her Instagram posts of her brother, and this kid was like a freaking stud baseball player. Like, as a coach, when you see someone, you go, "Wow, they got it! Like they have it." And I had a good,
for
I
sure.
had a good baseball eye, and so I hit her up, and I was like, "Yo, your brother's fucking legit. Like, I hope he was like 9 or 10 at the time, maybe, but I was like, he had a different swagger to him, bro. Like, you see it now with kids now because it's more popular, but like you could just tell." And so I hit her up, and I was like, "Yo, your brother's nasty. Like, how do I work with him? Like, I want to work with him. Like I don't care how much we date or whatever. I want to work with your brother, right?" And so he had played for a team at the time. And I ended up like getting into like the world of like training kids for speed and agility. It was something I kind of studied and I like got into, and I made the offer to her brother's team. And I said, "Hey, can I at least train?" They had a coach at the time who was really good, so I wasn't going to get a coaching job, but I said, "Can I offer a service to your brother's team to run speed and agility for them once a week?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to my mom." And then that happened. I charged $10 a kid every Wednesday at 4:00. I made, $70 in an hour or whatever. But it was my foot in the door. The coach of their team kind of ended up moving away, and they were at the age of like 11U, 12U, which was like the most important years for these guys. And they were really, really damn good. And so they asked me and said, "Hey, can you take over our team?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." Like,
there you go. Right time, right place, man.
Exactly. And at the time, my girl and we had just started dating. We were like fresh, a year into the relationship. And so, it all worked out perfect. I took over their team. I think we lost like 4 games in like 2 years. And that's when I realized like, oh shit, like, all right, I'm pretty damn good at this. Like, this is something I could really do. And so took over their team. Those guys all eventually obviously went on to play high school ball. Shout out to those boys. They're all about to go play D1 this year. And a lot of them are playing JUCO ball and D1 ball right now. A lot of top prospects, a lot of guys who have gotten full rides, Oregon, UCLA, LSU. And then last year was actually my first year running my own team from the ground up. I got introduced to a guy named Danny Espinosa who played in the big leagues for 9 years for the Angels out here in Orange County. He helped me out and said, "Hey, I have a 12U travel team. They need a coach. If you want to take over, feel free. It's your team. The pay is what it is, but you'll have a team and you can teach lessons to the kids, whatever you want." We work out at state-of-the-art facilities. We have state-of-the-art fields. And so I took over that team, man. And to just fast forward, I've coached them for the last 2 years from their 11U year. And then this was our 12U year. We just finished our tournament up in Cooperstown, New York. We played in the big tournament that all the kids play in every year in Cooperstown. And now we're done. But dude, it was the best 2 years of my life. I had a lot of fun playing baseball, dude, and grinding and competing. But there's nothing like competing and watching 12-year-olds develop as baseball players. And I'm still young enough to where
you remember it.
I remember it, and they remember it, and it's respect. There's respect between us as player coach. But I'm also out there at practice, like taking ground balls and showing them how to, make plays in the outfield, diving for balls, at 9:00 at night and grinding with them and like competing with them in a way. And so the last 2 years, man, has really been what not just got me to stay in coaching, but lit a fire for me to take it to the next level.
You got that competitive drive back and you got to exercise those muscles. No, I hear you. I hear you big time.
Yep.
Going into coaching a little bit more, what do you think? What is the best way that you build up a player that is struggling or confidence is a lot in baseball. So how do you build your players up in having so many different personalities? What are some of your techniques that you like to use, or even just some exercises that you like to do?
Yeah, man. You hit the nail on the head when you said personalities, right? Whether you're a football, baseball, basketball coach, you're dealing with, a dozen or two, different kids. And you guys remember how we were when we were 12, right? Your hormones are going crazy, your testosterone is, getting crazy. But at that level, man, it's all about, like you said, dealing with different personalities a certain way. I'm a firm believer, man. I don't have one specific style of coaching, but if I do have a style, it's very hard-nosed, blue-collar.
Yeah.
I like to develop trust before anything, right? Like, so for me, I don't go into a season like, here's my plan, because like you said, everybody's different. Every kid's different, right? My big goal is to just, when I go into a season or even a training session, like yesterday, I did a lesson with a kid for the first time ever, right? Whenever I head into that type of thing and with a new kid or a new set of kids, I like to just build them up first, man.
You got to build them up to
let them know, like, hey, you're a good ball player, or you're a good kid, or whatever it might be, to get to develop that trust, right? Because once you develop that trust, you can kind of break them down, dude. Like, I'm very hardcore. Like, I'm very blue collar, like hard nosed. Like, my approach is like I said, beginning of the season, you build them up, right? You let them know, this is the ground rules. This is my style. This is how I work. If you don't like it, you can go elsewhere. We're going to have fun, but at the same time, we're going to grind, right? And you're going to do things a certain way. You're going to do it the right way. And so I think developing the trust is the first most important thing, because here's my thing. A lot of coaches, and this is not a knock, but their style is to go in and just balls, to the wall right away, rip on a kid, get on his ass, yell at him, scream at him.
Yeah, instead of building them up, they're starting to tear them apart at first.
Exactly. Yeah. And dude, and kids, bro, they're first of all, they're smart as hell. They're smart as hell. They see everything, they hear everything, right? Way smarter than we are. And when you go into a kid and you approach them like that, you lose trust right away. And what happens is you start playing catch up, right? You break them down, and then you start to try and get them back on your side, and it's too late, man. And so what I do is my style is, I build them up, let them know, hey, I'm not your homeboy, but I'll be your brother, I'll be your friend,
I'm here to help you.
Yeah. I'm also here to help you. But I'm your coach too. And I'm going to make you work. You're not going to like it at times, but remember where it comes from, right? It comes from the heart, right? It's because I care. And a lot of what I'm teaching you is shit that I wish I would have done or would have had, right? And so an exercise, if you sort of call it, I'd say it's more of just an approach, right? And understanding, dude, like, my style might have to switch up for somebody because they're
more individualized with some certain kind of, like we said, personalities.
Correct.
Kids might take your form a little bit better than others. You know what I mean? Exactly. I know that's for me, it would have been the way I coach and the way it sounds like you coach. It would have been great for me.
Yep.
But I just didn't have that.
Yeah, and that's like, for me, that's the biggest thing, man. And I've kind of developed that identity, right? And I've grown into accepting the identity that I have now. I started off as the cool kid coach, bro, like that the kids could tell like stories to, and like when they would get in trouble, they would tell me. And like, don't get me wrong, I developed the trust with the kids for sure there, because they could get away with some shit with me compared to other coaches. And at the time, that was like beginning of my coaching career. I thought that was cool. Like, oh, all the kids think I'm a cool coach. Whereas now I've learned to like have the balance of both, right? Like, I am the cool coach, but at the same time, if you walk on the field, you're going to run 20 pulls, like, and you're going to hate it, and you're going to hate me for it.
Yeah.
But you're also going to understand. And so, and your parents who are using their hard-earned money for you to get development aren't going to get cheated, right? Like, their kids are going to learn. Like, I always tell people, I can't promise you your kid's going to get to the big leagues. I can't promise he's going to go play college ball at a D1 school, but I can promise you after the season, he's going to work hard. He's going to hold the door for women. He's going to he's going to take the trash out. He's going to walk up to the next coach in high school, and he's going to shake his hand, look him in the eyes when he does it. And little things like that. They're going to carry themselves as better men. And so that's kind of my approach now, man. And it's taken a lot of weight off my shoulders, trying to be so cool and fit in and like, be that guy, to where now I just kind of let the approach be the same. And then if they accept it, they accept it. And if not, they find somewhere else to play.
That was one thing I was big on going into this year, is that you're going to be better people and players by the end of the season. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like we have a pretty similar approach when it comes to it.
100%, and it makes it easier to coach them too, dude. Like
it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And
nope.
If you work, you'll be better in every way.
100%, dude.
So talking about the parents, how do you handle that from a team aspect?
Them parents go crazy at them games.
The personality
bro.
of the parents.
I've seen that shit.
Yeah, man. Listen, hey,
there's always that few.
You guys can jump on this idea. You guys can jump on this idea with me if you want. But I told people recently I'm gonna start a reality show for travel baseball.
Oh my God, that would be a smash hit,
bro. Tell me about it. Like I'm telling you, I really think it'd be #1 on Netflix because the
you already selling it to Netflix. Damn.
I got to do that. I got to do
Hulu. They got all that reality shit.
I mean, bro, if you sat down on your couch on a Saturday night and you saw #1 on Netflix, travel baseball, dads and moms, I know you're watching. So I think that for me, bro, I really wish y'all understood what Southern California was, because this is the mecca of travel baseball. And I mean, within like a 5-mile radius, you've got 35 teams. And so,
oh shit.
Yes, dude. And when I say every parent, and this is every parent, I don't give a shit who watches this one because I tell them to their face too. When I say every parent thinks their kid is going to be the next Mike Trout or the next Aaron Judge, I'm not joking when I tell you that. And so, you know what, man? Bless their hearts, bro. They love their kids, but it is a everyday battle when you are in this field and you are dealing with parents, because you have
more
to
invested in the kids.
Way more invested, bro. I got kids pulling up the baseball lessons like, yo, coach, I worked out 62 times this week. My dad had me running stairs. Can we just talk about life for an hour, bro? And I'm like,
damn, bro.
7 or 8-year-olds going through it right now, bro. Like, you know, and so it's sad. It is sad. I will say that. But I think the way I approach it with the parents, man, is from a business standpoint, from authenticity, like being myself, I keep it real, dude. Like, you know, like I don't bullshit. I did bullshit like in the beginning, you know, because I had to make money and I wanted to kiss ass. I've gotten to the point now where I've developed enough clientele. I've developed enough of a reputation now where I don't bullshit people, bro. So like, for example, you know, I'm working with a kid today. And his dad and I are very close, right? We're really close. His son is a football player, or baseball player, stud athlete, grinds his ass off. And like today, you know, we have it's Sunday. I never work on Sundays, but for some kids I do. And so I told him he's been off for a month. He's had football for a month, and so he hasn't touched the baseball in a month. And his pops hit me up. He's like, "Hey, can we work out tomorrow? I'm gonna bring him and his buddy." I was like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get an hour." And he's like, "Oh, can we get 2 hours?" And I'm like, "Here we go, motherfucker." Like, okay, we're already pushing him too hard. Like you just said, he hasn't picked up a baseball in a month, and I don't work Sundays, so let's do an hour and you know, whatever. And he's like, "Oh, bro, no, they need it. I'm like, "Listen," and he knows. I tell him to his face. This ain't no secret. I tell him like, "Hey, chill the fuck out, bro. Like your kid, he's 11 years old. He needs to be a kid." And so when you talk about approach to like how do you handle certain parents, I used to let it get to me, dude. I used to really let it get to me. Like if a parent would call me unfair, or they would really like
tough, man,
talk shit about me, or like, you know, spread rumors, bro. I'm telling you, like OC is like a high school. Orange County is like a little high school, bro.
Yo,
like,
you know this show, Big Little Liars?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm watching that right now, and that's the type of vibes I'm getting
with
my wife. But
bro,
that's the type of
you better
vibes
say
I'm getting
my
from
wife.
from.
Yeah,
no, I had to throw that in there because.
Hey, I feel you.
No, but it's a great show. I don't care.
Listen.
Nah,
listen. When you say it like that, it's no joke. It's the same, and it's crazy because I'm living it. I'm living in it, and I'm a part of it, and I have to find a way.
And you're young, so that's also adds like another dynamic to it.
It does, bro. It does. And so, Tyler, when you ask how do I handle it, I went from, you know, being the bullshitter to like kissing ass and just, you know, telling the parents what they want to hear to keeping it a buck, bro. You know, like telling parents like, hey, your kid, I have kids show up all the time, bro, and they're tired. And I tell the kid, all right, hey, today we're going to take 55, 60 less swings than we usually would. We're going to talk. We're going to go through the mental approach. You know what? You had a bad day today at school? Let's go for a walk around the field for 30 minutes before we hit. Let's talk
amazing.
about, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I think that's also like our generation, like we grew up with a different approach on sports, period. Like we integrate the mental part, whereas like the generation before, it was all work. They didn't care about who you broke up with, what you were doing. Like my parents didn't care about my first heartbreak. Like,
nope.
The fuck?
Nope. Get
But
back to work, boy.
we're conscious of that shit. We're like, yo, no, that plays a part in how you're gonna perform. So let's also cover that. So I think that's great.
Absolutely. Well, and you know what, dude? These kids, they want to feel like, I guess when you say like, it's not, social media has made it so hard for kids because what do you see out nowadays? All you see is 8th graders, 9th graders. Oh, proud to commit to USC and like, it's like, so you got, it's a rat
got a
race
whole highlight
kids,
tape,
bro. Yeah. And so you got kids out here who feel very like, pressured at a young age to like be committed by their freshman year of high school to go play at UCLA. And it's like, listen, dude, that's not how it works. And
yeah,
so,
everyone's journey is different.
Yeah, and you know, and like you said, the generations are different. So you got mom and dad who might have been a blue collar, you know, hard worker from Chicago, but their kids growing up in Orange County going to a, you know, Catholic private school with a bunch of preparatory kids that are all, what do I call, trust fund babies, right? And so it's like, you know, you got to make kids feel like where you're training them is a safe place, right? And so, you know, I keep it real with the parents, bro. I tell them straight up, like, my goal is to not make your kid be the next Mike Trout. It's to make him want to work hard enough to be the next Mike Trout. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, reality of that is, you know, I don't think that, you know, the approach is different with every parent because you got some cool parents and you got some parents who are real, real wild. But at the same time, you really just have to like make sure, you know, you don't cross any lines because out here in Orange County, man, like I said, it's a big bubble. And so everyone
talks.
So you don't need nobody trying to ruin your name. I already had that happen multiple times. So avoiding that's my biggest thing now. Nah,
for sure. We lost Tyler here, but he'll probably come back any second.
All good. Yeah, man. It's a wild, like you said, you were watching that show with your wife.
That's the type of vibes I'm getting, bro. Like from when you're saying that shit.
When I tell you it's the epitome of what you're watching on TV, but it's real life.
And I kind of experienced that too because my stepson, he plays soccer. So I've seen that just in rec, like the lowest level, I saw that like political game with the parents. And I'm like, bro, one thing I always try to do is like never get involved with the coach. Like there's been so many times I wanted to go to the coach like, yo, play him a little more. Like he's really invested. But I was like, you know what? He got to figure out how to do that for him. So I'll just give him tips instead of going to the coach. I'll talk to him.
Well, and that's the thing too, like what you just said. Like I think the biggest thing, bro, not the biggest thing, but one of the biggest things is when you talk about playing time, right? Like when you talk about trying to be fair as a coach and make sure each kid gets their playing time, because don't forget, travel baseball, kids are paying to play, right? And so you can't forget with travel baseball, since kids are paying to play, you got to be somewhat fair in a way, but also play the 9 best guys that are going to help you win, right? And so there's a big balance of not pissing parents off, bro, and it's not easy.
Yeah, I hear that. Tyler, you good? You back?
Yeah, my phone overheated.
Oh, what?
Are you safe?
This content has been on fire. That's why.
I knew that was coming. I knew it.
Hey, but going into like the MLB Today, do you still follow it?
Oh yeah, bro. I mean, I keep up about as much as I can because, you know, I try to make sure that what I'm teaching, when I watch baseball now, I learn a lot more than I did when I was playing because I use a lot of what I teach based off the way the game is now.
Game's been evolving lately.
It's exactly. The game has evolved. It's become a very big, like, I guess you could say, like the analytics are super important. And so when you talk about like, you know, the technology and all that shit and stuff, like the way the game's changing, you got to keep up as a coach, bro, because if you don't keep up as a coach, like I get caught my old school ways sometimes, like, oh, I'm old school, like, I don't believe in all that technology bullshit. And then you'll go to like a showcase or something, and you'll be like, oh shit, like they're using all that technology that, I've been bagging on for the last like 2 months. And so when you talk about like, do I watch the game? Hell yeah. Do I like the way the game's played? Not as much, but it's definitely still, I still watch it, bro. I mean, how can you not? It's pretty entertaining nowadays when you got guys like Judge, and Ohtani.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. It's hard not to watch, and it's been a pretty fun season so far in the big leagues, bro. There's been some underdogs who have played really well, and there's been some teams where everyone's kind of neck and neck right now. And so, I absolutely still watch. And I learned a lot from the game, dude, that I didn't get to see while I was playing. And so that to me is like one of the biggest things, is getting to watch it from a different perspective now. And that's kind of why I watch now.
Do you like the pitch clock?
I do like the pitch clock because from I didn't like it at first. I hated it at first. I was one of those guys who was like, fuck this. Why would they change the game? Like, there hasn't been a pitch clock.
Just to be clear, the pitch clock.
Oh man, this guy doesn't know what the pitch clock is, man.
No, I do.
Like 25 seconds to throw a pitch.
And before there was no pitch clock.
Nah.
So before there was no pitch clock. You go to a baseball game 4 or 5 years ago, you're guaranteed to be there for a good, 4 hours, right? Like
this was like to speed up the whole game.
Yeah, speed up the game.
Oh, okay.
Speed up the game. So really, I think what it was done for was for the viewership, right? Like for the fans. Not many people want to go to a game for 4 hours on a Monday night, or and so what it was done for was that. But from a player perspective, I like it because here's why. As a baseball player, you guys got me still?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
As a baseball player, when you're out there, it's a slow game, bro. It's a slow moving game. You could go play shortstop and not have one ball hit to you all game. And when there's no pitch clock, pitcher might walk off the mound. He might scratch his, leg. He might walk around, foul ball, got to go run and get a new one. So with a pitch clock, it keeps every player engaged constantly. And when you're engaged in baseball 24/7 like these guys are nowadays in the big leagues, it's hard to take a pitch off. So like with my youth players, with my 12U baseball team, what I've done is I've kind of implemented a pitch clock in a way where, hey, when we're warming up in between innings, 45 seconds max. When you're on the mound pitching and you throw a pitch and the catcher throws it back to you, 10 seconds before the next pitch max. And what it does is it keeps everybody engaged, because there's been times where I've been in center field, in the outfield, and I've caught myself having full-on conversations with myself inside my glove, like really, really bored. And so pitch clock just keeps everybody.
What's the pitch clock? How much time is on there?
15 seconds.
From when the pitcher gets the ball back from the catcher?
Correct. Yes, sir. So
but it wasn't just the pitchers. The batters used to take their sweet ass time too.
Exactly. Well, yes, bro. Well, that's what it was. So nowadays, with the pitch clock, you'll see it happen every now and then. It happened the other night with a guy named Brent Rooker. He was hitting and must have been in his own world. He stepped out of the box, took a couple practice swings. By the time he got back in, the clock expired, and it's an automatic strike when you do that. So
when the batter's not ready.
He had 2 strikes on him, and he stepped out, took his time. Violation of the pitch clock. It lapsed. And
bro,
so
them batters they might have been even worse than the pitchers. They readjust each glove. Take the whole brace off, put it back on.
No, exactly. Yeah, you look natural doing that, bro.
Come on, bro. I got that in my blood, that Venezuelan blood.
Yeah, man. I actually do like the pitch clock, though. I do. I think it's good for the game.
Good. That's great. So it has worked. It's made the game a lot faster overall.
It sped it up a little bit, and that needed to be done. Everything else
probably took off like 30 minutes.
Like an hour.
Hour almost, yeah.
Yeah, I know like a game now is like 2:30 to 3 hours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. See, you like it, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what it's for. It's for you guys, bro. It's for the fans.
That's for the casuals. That's good. At best.
Yeah, for Gen Pop, bro. It's for Gen Pop.
I mean, I do be watching playoff baseball, but that's about it.
Yeah, man. I don't religiously watch the regular season. If I go home and I'm doing nothing, I'll throw a game on. But playoffs, I'm hooked to the TV because like you said, playoff baseball, it's a little different feel.
Different, yeah.
It does make
Same
me
in every
feel old
sport.
as fuck when I see Vlad Guerrero Jr. and shit. I'm like, oh man.
Pops was a
What?
monster. Pops was a monster.
Yeah, and Guerrero Jr. is a monster too.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
it's cool.
That's
Cool to
crazy.
see.
Keeping up with the MLB right now, who do you think is the best player in the league currently?
That's a crazy question, man. Because I got two guys that come to mind, and it's probably who you're thinking of. It's Judge and Ohtani. I think. Okay, I'll talk about Judge first. First of all, to be 6'7", 280 pounds, and to be hitting 330, 340, and we're in mid-August. I mean, in nowadays game where you look at guys who are, there's only correct me if I'm wrong, but there's about 6 guys who are hitting 300 in the big leagues right now.
Batting averages have gone down throughout the years.
And so, and we'll get into that, but to be hitting 340 at 6'7", 280 pounds, to be hitting for power, hitting for average, RBIs, and playing a position on the field, like the outfield where it can take a toll on your body, and playing in New York, which is the most brutal city to play for. I mean, and he's done it, the last 5-6 years in a row, right? I don't think there's any denying that he is arguably the best player in the game, just from a standpoint of numbers and what he's doing. It's just so hard to go against what Shohei's doing, man. I mean, Shohei is
different.
He's different, dude. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'll be vulnerable, bro. I'll be honest. I was a hater. I was a Shohei hater for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. I said I was going to be honest. Not a hater to where I wouldn't admit that he was good. It just I didn't
buy into the hype.
I didn't accept how good he was, right?
Yeah.
And I still lean Judge, but just from a number standpoint, Judge is hitting 55.
You're
60.
a Yankees guy too. Come on.
Hey, come on. We don't got to admit.
You should have added that first, bro. Come on, you know it. Come on.
Yeah, I'm a Yankee guy, so that helps, right?
But he has better numbers, like you're saying, at batting.
Yes. I mean, dude, you got the casuals don't understand how fucking hard it is to hit 340, and you're in mid-August, dude. I mean, the pitching has gotten a lot better in the big leagues, but the approaches of hitters has gotten way worse. And for him to not fall into that like category of hitters where everyone's just trying to hit bombs and just try to put the ball in play and hit it hard somewhere and hit for average, and for it to be happening, I mean, it's beyond impressive. And so that to me gives him the slight edge. But Shohei's pitching, dude. He's averaging 6-7 strikeouts a game. He's still hitting 40-something bombs a year. I mean, he's doing it in LA, and I don't know if you guys know, but LA, the ball doesn't fly in LA. The ball doesn't go really far in LA. So
really?
He's hitting the bombs in LA, and so for him to be doing what he's doing, dude.
So what is he? He's a DH when he's not pitching.
Yeah, and I don't blame the guy. To play a position, pitch and hit.
Yeah.
No, nobody's bionic robot, dude. So that
Bro, I tell you what.
And let me ask you: is he a better pitcher or a better hitter?
He's a better hitter. Better hitter by far. 100%.
Okay.
100%. He's a solid pitcher. He is a
solid pitcher.
When he is healthy, which he hasn't been for years, when he is healthy, he is a top 10 pitcher in the big leagues.
It's crazy.
Top 5 hitter, top 10 pitcher.
Bro, I'll tell you what, man. Shohei has drawn me to watch, the World Series and playoff games. And
he's pretty big himself too. Pause.
Yeah, bro, it was like 6'5".
Oh, bro, 6'5", 240. He's a fucking machine.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But hold on. One knock I've heard on Aaron Judge is the playoffs. Doesn't come through in the big moments.
You know what? And you're not wrong. I think he'll admit it himself, I'm sure, but he's put too much pressure on himself in the playoffs. To have those kind of years that he's had in the regular season, which are legit
Historic.
MVP, 3-time, 4-time MVP numbers, to have that kind of success during the season, and then to kind of go into the postseason and just kind of like, yeah, it's all right, I'll keep doing it. When you play in New York, dude, and you're part of the most prestigious sports franchise in sports history, and you're freaking Aaron Judge. You don't. It's not like you blend in, dude. So it's like
No, pressure's on.
Yeah,
I think the only place you would blend in is with the Vikings on a fucking ship.
yeah, exactly. And so it's like when you have that type of stature, right? You get to the postseason. Everybody knows when it's the Yankees. When you think of the Yankees, what do you think of? You think of championships. You don't think of regular season baseball. You don't watch baseball until the playoffs when you're a Yankees fan, because you just know that's all that matters. And so I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself to perform in the postseason, and I think it's gotten the best of him so far. I think last year was a really tough year for the Yankees in general because they all fucked up in the postseason.
Yeah.
He had a very
that was tragic.
He had a very it wasn't a big error. It was a big error, but it wasn't like it cost them the whole World Series. But he had a very distinct error that everyone kind of saw, and he dropped the baseball in the middle of the World Series. And like I said, and knowing this from my dad being my dad and playing all the years he did in New York, when you fuck up and you're a Yankee, they're going to let you know. They don't care how good you do regular season. They don't give a shit. When it comes to the playoffs, if you're not winning and you're not performing, you can be Aaron Judge, and you're still going to have letters at your door the next day telling you to go jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, it's that cutthroat when it comes to Yankees baseball. And so, yeah, knock him for, not performing in the playoffs. But you know what, dude? I'm not going to knock Shohei, but Shohei didn't do much in the playoffs last year, and everyone doesn't talk about it because he played for the Dodgers. And the Dodgers have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and Teoscar Hernandez and Clayton Kershaw and Blake Snell and all these MVPs who you can kind of afford to fuck around in the playoffs and not perform because you got 6 MVPs behind you who are going to kind of pick you up. And so,
I could be wrong, but wasn't New York also looked at like that? Having Judge and my man that went to the Mets,
Soto.
Yeah,
Carlos
I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I'm as casual as casual gets when it comes to MLB.
Well, and that's kind of why I was kind of confused on the whole, not confused, but scratch my head about last year, because last year Soto carried the Yankees in the playoffs while Judge was going through his funk. And last year, Ohtani didn't do much in the playoffs, and no one talked about it. And so it's kind of like, but it's markets, right? It's markets. You play for the Dodgers. Yeah. You're not put on that pedestal of like, oh, we gotta win. Yeah, they're a historic franchise, but they're in LA. It's sunny and 75. They're all about
It's the wide perception of them.
Yes, and so it's I compare it to like you play for the Warriors and you lose in the playoffs. Whoop you do. Whereas you play for the Knicks and you lose in the playoffs, right? They're gonna let you hear about it, right?
Roasted all year.
Yep, exactly. And so I hope we get to see a different side of Judge this postseason. I think with the season he's had, he's completely changed his approach as a hitter, and it is so obvious because he looks so comfortable at the plate. And like I said, when you're
hopefully he already learned from all those mishaps in the 100%. Past, and now he can overcome it.
And he might not have, bro. Baseball's a hard sport, dude. I guarantee you in the playoffs, he ain't getting nothing but sliders all playoffs because, that's what they gave him last year and he couldn't hit it. So I don't see why they changed their approach now. So hopefully he can change his mental approach and, lock back into what he is now,
Got you. Yo, you playing second base most of your career. Who would you say is the best second baseman in the game today?
Ooh, the best second baseman in the game today. Oh, man. That's a tough one. You know what? Second basemen get overlooked, dude.
They do.
Second
baseman. I always showed love to the second base, shortstop, and third. That was my shit right there.
Second basemen don't get talked about enough. There's the thing about second base is the reason you get overlooked is because you have shortstop, right? You're playing right next to short. And so when you're playing next to short, it's hard because, obviously when you're playing short, you're the guy. You're that dude.
Yeah.
There's a dude, Arias, on the Guardians, who's legit. But I think Ketel Marte, he plays for the Diamondbacks. I think it's no doubt he's the best second baseman in the big leagues. He's hitting in the high 200s, 290, 280. He hits for power. He's hitting, 25, 27 bombs, something like that. And he plays a stellar defense. You guys probably heard of him. a couple weeks ago, he had an incident happen where a fan made some threats about his mother.
Oh yeah. I
during a game, and they all rallied behind him and picked him up. He's a dog, bro. He's a dog. He's a power hitter, good defensive guy, and he's as swaggy as they get. So that's got to be my pick.
Got you. What about your personal like top 5 second baseman of all time? It don't got to be the best, but just guys that you loved, you rocked with. Could be current, past.
All right. I'll give you. I got. Okay, so number 5, I'll go. Marlins legend. His name's Dan Uggla.
Dan Uggla, come on, boy.
Of course.
Yeah, Hanley Ramirez in them.
That's what you said. Personal favorite. So that is a personal favorite of mine. Dan Uggla, Hanley Ramirez. Yep.
Power hitter. Hey, at second base, power hitter. Dan Uggla.
Power. You talk about forearms, bro. That boy had a set of forearms. So I actually got to know him a little bit when he played for the Marlins. My dad, I'm sure you guys remember, we used to go to all the games over at Pro Player, Joe Robbie Stadium or whatever. My dad became friends with him, and he showed love all the time. We'd go down early. He would give me a glove, give me batting gloves, a bat. So personal favorite, I'm going to go him. Got to be one of my personal favorites. Really good player. Didn't have the career I think he wanted to have, but he had his heydays were with the Marlins. So I can appreciate what he did for the city. Top 5 though, I'm just gonna throw out names. I gotta go. Robinson.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't even know order. Just give me some
order.
Robinson Cano, who is, Hall of Fame hitter, got to be. The smoothest, most nonchalant Yankee that ever lived. People used to talk shit about him being too smooth, and they would say he's too lazy, and he was kind of like the Deion Sanders of baseball, where you would hear people talk about how he's too smooth, and in his little Dominican accent, hey, this is God-given, Papi. I don't need to work hard. This is God-given, And so didn't stretch, would come out, no stretching, no warm-up, just hit bombs and do his thing. Just a stud of an athlete. Chase Utley is one of my all-time favorites. He's a Philly guy, played for the Dodgers. He was known for being a real nasty, dirty, gritty baseball player. Kind of grew up in the 90s era or early 2000s where baseball was still a contact sport, real physical. And then when the game started to evolve and it became more about like player safety because guys are getting paid a lot, he didn't give a damn. He would still slide into second base and take somebody's legs out to the point where he got suspended for breaking a couple fibulas and tibias. Like he was a dirty, like kind of guy who would smoke cigarettes in between at bats back in the late 2000s. like just a hardcore blue collar baseball player. But legit. And then I don't know about 5, but I can give you my last guy, Luis Castillo, OG Marlin. Marlin. World Series champion. Just a guy who exemplified, what it was to be like small, but, really talented, worked his ass off, and just clean baseball player, dude. One of my favorite things that he said was how all he cared about was making the routine plays. All the flashy, cool, special diving catches happen once in a while, and it's cool to make those plays and make a web gem or a top 10 on SportsCenter. But all he gave a fuck about was every play that was hit right at him could he make, and coaches took notice of that when he was younger, and he relies on that, and that's what got him to the big league. So I gotta say, my guy Luis Castillo is gonna be my last guy.
Hey, that's how you know he was an older baseball player. He said web jam.
Web jam, baby. Web jam. Hell yeah, I remember that. Yeah, every night, baby.
It wasn't no joke to him. It was web jam. It was a video that you hoped to download.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, how you feel about the new, surge in baseball? Our old friend Michael D was part of this, the Savannah, the baseball team they got over there where, they're Savannah Bananas, where they're pretty much doing like an and one approach, how they did it with basketball, made it like a trick style and for the fans with baseball.
Exactly.
How you feel about that whole movement?
I think it's awesome, bro. I was so happy to see Deeb playing out there.
Yeah, that was sick.
Funny story, real quick, about how Deeb and I got rekindled. I was at that tryout that I got an offer from the Orioles for. I was at that tryout. It was in Illinois, like I had said. We went to a tryout together, and I noticed this 6'4", 230-pound dude wearing this goofy ass like dad hat, like you know the OG Bryson Tiller like Nike like dad hat. He was rocking one of those with like, and his arms were like sticking out of his shirt. I'm like, God damn, that dude's huge. I'm like, that's not a baseball player. And sure as shit, he turns around and I like trip out, bro. I'm 19 at the time, or 20, 21, something like that, 21 maybe.
That's crazy.
Haven't seen him since Indian Ridge, because he went to Archbishop McCarthy or whatever. Like, didn't go to high school
to play football.
Yep, to play football, and then Notre Dame, right? And so I saw him, and we, rekindled our relationship. We actually ended up getting sent to the same organization that year for Michigan, and we were there. He was only there for a couple weeks. Rekindled our relationship. We still talk here and there to this day, but was super happy to see him get to go play, because he fits that personality perfect.
Bro, I thought he was meant for that.
Oh, dude, jackpot for him playing there. But
he don't play still though, right?
No, not sure what's going on. I think he's back home. He's actually back home coaching. I do know that. He coaches for a travel league.
Okay, gotcha.
Giving back to the community, like, kind of like what I'm doing. But yeah, man, I love what they're doing. The Bananas are awesome. I actually haven't had a chance to go see them. They were over here in Angel Stadium when I was, or when they were out here. They were touring, which is like 20 minutes from my house. But I think what they're doing for the game is awesome, dude. It's so, one, it's smart. It's smart as hell. It's such a marketing.
We grew up doing trick plays and shit like that, and we always thought, like, why isn't this ever incorporated more, or why don't we see this more?
Well, and
speaking of baseball moms, that's their number one fan.
Exactly.
Baseball moms.
Yes. And so, and when you talk about like really getting kids engaged in the game, I mean, dude, these dudes went from, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, selling out like 200 fans, to they're on a stadium tour now, dude.
Yeah, they're getting bigger every year.
And they're doing back-to-backs, bro. They're doing back-to-backs in the same stadium.
But who do they play? Like, who they play, like the local teams?
So yeah, it's like there's a league.
It's like a league. Okay.
There's a couple teams in the league. I know there's like one team called the Firefighters, where it's a bunch of guys wearing sleeveless shirts who are firefighters.
Gotcha.
And the Banana guys are all former ball players. A guy that actually coached out here for a while, Coach Rack. He's like the guy who does the backflip all the time.
Okay.
He plays for them.
I follow the shortstop. That's been my boy for a couple years.
Yeah. Well, so Rack plays center field, I think, and he's doing some cool stuff with them. He's super blown up on social media. When you talk about marketing, again, I just think it's cool.
Their marketing is
they're bringing religion into it too. Like they're bringing in religion to it. They're all faith-based guys. And it's just a different part of the game that is helping grow the game of baseball in general. So
yes,
I've always felt like, and I'm sure you guys can attest and agree, I've always felt like baseball has kind of been missing something to draw in more people.
The youth.
And I think the youth, exactly. And so I know every kid I teach has damn near walked up to me one day with a Bananas hat on. So it's like, it's working. And so, they all play the music from their league and stuff. So I think what they're doing is great, man. It's growing the game, and it's only going to help.
Yeah, it's growing the game. And what people don't understand, baseball is very traditional. Like, for them to even cut through like this in baseball is impressive. Like, so yeah, shout out to them.
Well,
Tyler, you got anything else?
One more thing on that too. What we talked about earlier, it's helping the guys who finish their career with baseball. It gives them a new alley, a new path to kind of work through. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it can get dark and ugly when you get released, man. And you realize you got to stop playing ball. And so to give these guys who are still really talented young ball players, like 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, a platform to make money and still continue to be part of the game, where they can continue to do what they love and their passion still resides in baseball. I think that's the coolest part about it, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Tyler, you got anything else?
Oh yeah, man. I got one more question, dude. When are you gonna start to get your 12-year-olds into flipping shoes? Is that going to be an off-season thing or?
Hey, I'm so
Side
glad
hustle.
I'm bro, because all right, we'll touch on that for a second. But
That's what you started, so that's what we all started. You feel me?
Bro, they got no idea out here. So I got a lot of kids that have a lot of money, and they're into the hype of, you know, I was talking to Cheech about this the other day, where every fucking Jordan has been re-released 62 times since we had black cement and white cement and aqua 8s and all that. And so all these kids will pull up to, like, you know, we'll go to dinner, we'll have a family function or something, and they'll pull up in their, you know, Denim Tears hoodie or like Supreme hoodie,
Lord.
and like a pair of like retro 7 times white cement reimagined 3s, and
them shits don't even look the same anymore.
These or some shit, and I'll be like, yo, y'all got no idea, bro. And they're like, what do you mean, coach? Because all I wear now is like, I'm rocking and some, like, you know, some shoes for base. I still have a couple pairs of J's, but I rock a lot of like baseball gear. And so they're like, coach, you got no swag, bro. No.
Oh, you don't even know. You don't even
They
know.
don't know,
Yo,
bro.
One thing now, man, with some of the re-releases, a lot of my original shit is coming apart.
Oh,
like my Raging 5s can't wear it. My 11s can't wear them. Like I have 10 plus just Jordans that are coming apart.
Oh, bro, you can't, when they crack, all of them crack or they're done.
And it kills me. So it's like I rebought the cement 3s. I just recently got the Lightning 4s, and I'm like, I'm like, man, I texted Dixon. I finally secured these grails. Yeah. So it's like, man, some of the retros they fucked up so bad in the last 10 years. It's like the fire reds that they released. Them bitches are orange, and it's like, yo, you guys are doing a disservice. But now those price tags, $220 is like, yo, you can get a lick back in the day for $220. And don't even get me started, bro.
You could get 2 shoes for $220.
I know you were on this wave too, Austin. SBs. Tell me your thoughts on the SB wave now to what it was.
The resurgence.
Oh, bro. Well, first of all, you have no idea the regret I live with, knowing that I had multiple pairs of multiple pairs of Supreme Blazers, Freddy Krugers. I mean, everything you could imagine, Jedis, all of it. My thoughts on the SBs nowadays is they suck. First of all,
yeah.
I just can't find myself. First of all, we're all old now. I'm not spending $400 on a pair of shoes.
No, I can't do it.
Well, I just, like, the other day I walked into there's a shoe store in my mall that it's like an urban shoe store where they have
like a boutique.
Boutique, and they buy you stuff, they sell you stuff, you know. And I saw a pair of Hawaiis on the shelf the other day, and I was with my lady, and she was like, I was like, oh my God, let me see those. And they were fresh, bro, like VVNDS, like really, really good condition, like super clean. And I was like, they're like $240, which was super cheap. I could resell them for $500. And I was like, babe, I'm gonna get those. And she's like, why the fuck would you buy those?
You don't understand, babe. I remember I looked up because I wanted some beaters recently. And you know as well as I do, Space Tigers back in the day, that was like the trash. Like people disregarded those bitches. I know we all had them, but Space Tigers going for 300 plus now.
Dude, I remember.
I copped a pair of those for $80 back in the day.
Yeah, it was like a basic dunk back in the day.
I don't know if y'all remember the Larry Perkins ones that came out.
Yeah,
bro, I went to go because they're a very clean, like, black pair. I was gonna get those, and I was gonna rock them at my wedding, and I saw the price. It was like $800, and I'm like, bro, this was like a pair of Chucks back in the day, $70, $80. Like, you can cop those for it. And nope, nowadays. So I'm sad that it's gotten to what it's gotten to. Like, I
blame Travis Scott for doing that.
Oh, 100%.
I blame Travis Scott.
I don't know if you guys know
He's
this.
He's a big culprit.
I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, but you guys remember Dunk Exchange, obviously.
Of course. Bro, I tell people about that today.
My last Dunk Exchange
that I went to
in Miami, the last one I ever went to, I met the owner of the Dunk Exchange. His name was Gary.
Yeah.
And Gary's this big tatted dude, like 6'4". You know, he has size 15 Parises and, you know, all the Freddies and stuff. And I wanted to meet him, right? So I told my dad, I was like, yo, can we please go meet him? Because my dad went to the events. And my dad goes up to him. And he's like, yo, what up, man? You know, my son's a big fan. And Gary, the dude, did like a double take. He was like, Jim fucking Leyritz? And my dad was like, yeah, how do you know? He's like, dude, and he lifts up his shirt, and he has this 1996 Yankees tattoo on him. And massive tat. So we became real tight since then. And about a year goes by after that event, and I go, you know, hey, Gary, I saw you're having an event in Southern California. I'm getting ready to move there. He goes, sweet. Let me know where you'll be when you move, and we'll link up if it's possible. I get to California, send him my address. We're 4 minutes away from each other, bro. So I ended up being super close to him, neighbors-wise.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that's wild.
I know, right? And so I actually went to a couple events where they were in LA. He rented out the Staples Center and did some events there. So I copped a few pairs. I got a couple pairs of OGs. I have, but nothing like you said. I have a bunch of OG shoes. Like I just got some OG True Blues. I still have OG Space Jams. One, they're yellowed. Two, they're cracking. So I can't do nothing with them. But yeah, man, I rekindled my relationship with Gary, and Gary's actually a DJ. And he's going to DJ my wedding in October.
Oh, shit.
That's cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, super dope. So,
wow.
But yeah, man, we both agree. Him and I, the shoe game sucks now, bro. It's trash. So,
man,
everyone got the same shit.
Everybody's like Yeezys, and
yep.
Everybody got the same shit. It sucks.
Yep, and it's all Adidas Yeezys too. They got no idea about the Nikes, bro.
No.
Yeah. So, but I still reminisce, bro. I still reminisce.
Yeah, that was the time, bro. That was the
Always.
time.
That was peak swag.
It really was, bro. Yep.
But no, that's it, man. Hey, Austin, thank you so much for this. This was great, man. I'm glad we got to
beautiful interview,
get
bro.
together
Great catch up
and catch up.
Absolutely, man. No, I really appreciate y'all having me on, bro. I woke up super pumped to do this today, so I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, this was great. Dixie, you got anything else?
Nah, man, that's it. Appreciate y'all for hanging this long with us. If you made it to the end, and catch y'all on the next one.
All right, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
All right, my boys. Y'all take care. All right.
Sure.
All right, take care,
Peace.
Austin.
All right, y'all boys. Yep.
Hits and hoop season. Hey.